In the heart of the vast desert, where golden sand stretched endlessly beneath a brilliant blue sky, lived a falconer named Zayed. Known for his quiet strength and deep understanding of nature, Zayed had spent many years training and caring for birds of prey. From a young age, he felt a unique bond with these majestic creatures, drawn by their powerful wings and keen hunting skills. The desert was not just his home, it was a sanctuary for him and the birds he cherished. Zayed's father had been a falconer too, passing down ancient traditions and knowledge about the art of flight. As a child, Zayed would watch in awe as his father trained the falcons, teaching them to soar high above the dunes and return on command. This passion grew within him, leading Zayed to dedicate his life to falconry. He understood that each bird had its own spirit, personality, and story. The arid landscape surrounded him, offering both challenges and beauty. He learned to read the shifting sands for signs of weather while allowing the winds to guide him. Zayed reveled in quiet moments watching the sun rise over the dunes as his falcons took to the skies. Their calls echoed in the stillness, reminding him of their fierce independence. For Zayed, being a falconer was more than just a hobby, it was a calling. Little did he know that his love for these birds would soon lead him into an unexpected adventure that could change everything. One sunny afternoon, while exploring the dunes with his beloved falcons, Zayed stumbled upon an unusual sight. Nestled between two rocky outcrops, he spotted a magnificent eagle caught in a tangled net. His heart sank as he approached the scene. The eagle flapped its powerful wings in desperation, but each attempt only tightened the snare around its legs. Zayed's pulse quickened as he noticed the exhaustion etched on the bird's face. Its golden feathers were ruffled and soiled from struggling, and its fierce eyes were filled with fear and frustration. He had always admired eagles for their strength and grace, but this one seemed defeated, trapped in a cruel situation. Compassion surged through Zayed as he realized he couldn't just stand by and watch. Without hesitation, he knelt beside the eagle. "Hold on, my friend," he whispered softly, trying to soothe its panic. Zayed carefully assessed the net, searching for a way to free the majestic creature without causing further harm. Every instinct told him that time was of the essence. He needed to act quickly before the bird became too weak. As he worked meticulously to untangle the net, Zayed spoke gently to the eagle, encouraging it to stay calm. He could feel a connection forming between them, a shared understanding of their struggle against fate. With patience and determination, Zayed continued to free the eagle, driven by a fierce desire to help this noble creature escape its dire predicament. As Zayed worked diligently to free the eagle, news of the magnificent bird quickly reached the governor of the region, a man known for his ambition and desire for power. The governor had recently decided that he wanted an eagle as the symbol on his family crest, believing it would represent strength and nobility. Such a symbol would showcase his authority, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies while rallying his supporters. However, there was a dark twist to his wish. The governor's advisors warned him that capturing the eagle would not be easy, and he grew impatient. In a fit of anger and arrogance, he issued a chilling command: if the eagle could not be captured alive, it would face death. This decree sent shockwaves through those who heard it. Many were horrified by the thought of harming such a majestic creature. The governor's outlook was one of ownership rather than respect for nature. He sought to possess the eagle, not just as a crest but as an emblem of his own power. His decision placed Zayed in a precarious position. With the threat looming over the eagle's life, Zayed felt an even stronger sense of duty to protect it. He understood that not only did he have to free this beautiful bird from its trap, but he also faced a new challenge: saving it from being executed by an uncaring ruler who saw it only as a trophy. Falconry in the desert is an ancient practice that has been cherished for generations. For falconers like Zayed, it's more than a skill, it's a way of life deeply rooted in their culture. The art involves training birds of prey to hunt small game, showcasing the extraordinary abilities of these magnificent creatures. Falcons are highly valued for their speed, agility, and keen eyesight, making them the perfect partners during hunts. In the arid landscape of the desert, falconers begin their training by establishing trust between themselves and the young birds. Zayed would often remember how he learned to do this as a child, building a bond through patience and gentle handling. He'd offer his birds treats and speak to them softly, allowing them to become familiar with his presence. This initial connection is essential. Once a falcon trusts its trainer, it's ready to learn. Training involves teaching the birds to respond to commands and return after a flight, which requires using rewarding techniques like food incentives. Falconers create a special relationship with each bird, understanding its unique personality and preferences. This bond enables them to work together harmoniously during hunts. Furthermore, falconry plays an important role in local culture and identity, often symbolizing strength, honor, and discipline. In ceremonies and competitions, falcons take center stage, reflecting the dedication of their trainers. As Zayed contemplated his next move to protect the eagle he saved, he knew he carried not only his own hopes but also the legacy of this noble tradition within him. With the weight of the eagle's fate pressing on him, Zayed focused intently on the rescue mission. He knelt beside the trapped bird, scanning the tangled net for a way to carefully free it without causing harm. The sunlight glinted off the eagle's sharp beak and fierce eyes, urging him forward with a sense of urgency. Zayed felt a powerful connection to the creature, their struggles were intertwined. As he worked, he spoke softly to the eagle, calming its frantic movements. "You're safe now," he whispered, hoping his voice would ease its fear. The moment felt surreal as Zayed reflected on how far he had come. This beautiful creature was more than just a bird, it was a symbol of freedom and strength in nature. However, the rescue was not without its challenges. The more Zayed tried to untangle one part of the net, the more tightly it seemed to wrap around the eagle's legs. He paused for a moment to observe its condition, noting its quickened breathing and alertness slowly fading. Time was slipping away, and he was all too aware of the governor's cruel deadline looming over them. Gritting his teeth in determination, Zayed discovered a small opening in the netting as he worked meticulously with nimble fingers. Inch by inch, he pulled away strands of material that had ensnared those powerful legs until finally, with another gentle tug, he set the eagle free. It stood before him, wild and proud, its gaze met his with an understanding that would transcend words. In that shared moment of liberation, both falconer and eagle knew they were bound together by their fight against fate itself. As Zayed stood beside the newly freed eagle, a storm of emotions swirled within him. While his heart swelled with joy at the bird's liberation, an unsettling thought nagged at him, the governor's looming orders. The weight of authority pressed down on him, threatening to overshadow the bond he had just formed with the magnificent creature. Zayed felt torn between his loyalty to the ruler and his instinct to protect the eagle he had rescued. The governor was powerful, and defying him could lead to severe consequences not only for Zayed but also for his family and home. Yet the very idea of delivering the majestic eagle into a life of captivity, or worse, death, filled him with dread. With each passing moment, Zayed's resolve grew stronger. He recalled tales from his father about falconers who sacrificed everything to stand up for what was right. This was more than just a personal battle, it was about preserving the spirit of freedom that falconry represented in their culture. He knew he couldn't let fear dictate his actions. As the eagle took a cautious step away from him, its fierce eyes locked onto Zayed's as if sensing his inner turmoil. In that moment, he made a decision, no matter what it cost him, he would protect this creature from a fate chosen by someone who saw it merely as a trophy. With determination ignited in his heart, Zayed vowed to find a way to keep the eagle safe, setting off into the desert with purpose and courage driving him forward. As Zayed made his way deeper into the desert with the eagle by his side, he began to devise a careful escape plan to elude the governor's men. He understood that they would be searching for the magnificent bird, and every moment counted. Zayed knew he had to use the landscape to his advantage while ensuring the eagle remained safe and hidden. First, he recalled the small cave he'd discovered years ago, nestled within a rocky outcrop along a rugged path rarely traveled by others. It offered cover from prying eyes and would provide a temporary shelter for both himself and the eagle. He decided this hidden spot could serve as their refuge until nightfall, when it would be easier to travel unnoticed. Next, Zayed planned the route carefully. He intended to follow a series of winding trails that snaked through the dunes, avoiding open spaces where they could easily be spotted. Zayed also knew that if they encountered any guards or search parties, he could rely on his knowledge of the terrain to find alternative paths leading away from danger. To keep the eagle calm, Zayed spoke softly to it, reassuring the bird that they would soon be safe. He also fashioned a makeshift harness from some leather straps he'd kept for training purposes, ensuring that as they moved quickly through rough patches, he could securely guide the eagle without losing their precious bond. With hope ignited in his heart and a clear plan forming in his mind, Zayed took a deep breath and carefully set off towards the cave, determined to protect both their lives and preserve the freedom of this majestic creature. Under the fading light of dusk, Zayed and the eagle moved swiftly across the shifting sands, their escape becoming a race against time. With each step, the tension thickened in the air as Zayed could hear faint shouts in the distance, guards dispatched by the governor, searching for his prized eagle. His heart raced, driven by fear and determination, knowing they had to reach the safety of the cave before it was too late. As they navigated through the rocky outcrop, Zayed glanced back to see shadows nearing their path. The sound of hurried footsteps echoed behind them, intensifying his urgency. "Stay close," he murmured to the eagle, grasping its makeshift harness tighter as they rounded a corner. Suddenly, Zayed spotted a patrol of men scanning the area ahead. Calculating quickly, he led the eagle down a narrow path that wound through jagged rocks. The route was treacherous. Zayed had to maneuver carefully, his heart pounding with anxiety. He could almost feel the watchful eyes of the guards closing in. Just when it seemed they might be cornered, a loud commotion erupted behind them. It appeared that some guards had stumbled over loose stones and fallen into a shallow ravine. Seizing this distraction, Zayed urged the eagle on, sprinting as fast as he could manage without dragging it. Finally reaching the cave entrance, Zayed slipped inside with his companion just as shouts faded into confusion behind them. Breathing heavily but filled with relief, he watched as the eagle perched cautiously nearby. They had escaped, together, and in that thrilling moment of danger turned triumph, their bond felt stronger than ever. In each other's presence, they found safety and hope amid uncertainty as darkness covered the desert sky. As the sun began to rise, casting warm hues across the desert landscape, Zayed and the eagle rested in the cave, grateful for the respite. The tension of their daring escape faded slowly as they embraced their newfound safety, yet Zayed knew they were not out of danger just yet. The governor would not easily forget his prized bird or the falconer who defied him. For now, they bided their time, allowing the eagle to regain its strength. Zayed watched in awe as the bird preened its magnificent feathers, a symbol of resilience and grace. He felt proud but anxious. Their journey was far from over. They needed a plan to ensure both their freedom and safety outside the cave's mouth. Over the next few days, Zayed scouted the surrounding area, studying the patterns of the guards' patrols while keeping a close eye on their movements. He spoke to the eagle often, sharing his thoughts and plans, developing a mutual understanding that deepened their bond further. Together they prepared for what lay ahead. Finally, with his heart set on freedom, Zayed decided it was time to leave the cave. Under the cover of twilight, they slipped out into the cool air, ready to navigate through familiar terrain toward a distant valley known for its vast open skies, an ideal place for an eagle to soar free. As they traveled onward, Zayed felt renewed purpose swell within him. The eagle flew close by his side as if acknowledging their shared goal, not just escape but a life lived in freedom away from tyranny. In this beautiful moment of solidarity, both Falconer and eagle embraced hope as they ventured into an uncertain yet promising future together. As Zayed and the eagle approached the distant valley, he began to reflect on the significance of their journey. The vast landscape around him, once a source of danger and uncertainty, now felt liberating and full of potential. He marveled at the resilience of nature and how essential it was to preserve wildlife in a world where power sometimes sought to dominate and control it. Zayed understood that freedom was not merely the absence of chains, it was an intrinsic right for all living beings. He felt a deep sense of responsibility to advocate for those creatures that could not speak for themselves. His heart swelled with pride as he thought about the eagles soaring high above him, a symbol of courage and strength, and realized that their fight had been about more than just one bird, it represented a stand against unjust authority. Through this adventure, Zayed learned valuable lessons about bravery, compassion, and integrity. Protecting what is precious often requires sacrifices, but he knew that standing up for what is right would always be worth it. The bond he shared with the eagle was a testament to these values, their connection formed through trust and mutual respect. As they reached the edge of the valley, Zayed smiled, knowing they had chosen the path toward freedom together. With each beat of the eagle's powerful wings guiding them into a brighter future, he felt inspired to continue advocating for wildlife preservation, ensuring that no other creature would have to face such peril alone again. In this new chapter of his life, Zayed was determined to be both a falconer and a guardian of nature's wonders.